morning, Zandi. My name is Betty Songoro, and the last 2 days we have been talking about just challenging self-doubt in our lives. And the first day we talked about Moses. Yesterday we talked about Moses and the self-image. His self-image is what hindered him from actually stepping out there and doing what God wanted him to do. And God had to intervene on that level. Yesterday we talked about guilt that comes from sin and shame, that hinders us from actually stepping there and doing what we need to do, because we are stuck on our messes. We are stuck on the things that we did in the past, and we are not able to move forward. So today we are going to talk about a third reason, and that reason is feeling damaged by things that other people do to us. Meaning that sometimes we go through life and we are in this world where people are just they are damaged themselves, or they move according to what they feel. They're not considerate. So we find ourselves in places where other people take advantage of us. Other people, they abuse us, whether it's physical, whether it's sexual, whether it is verbal, all that which comes with what other people do to us. And often when they do things to us, then we become victims. We become victimized, and we don't know how to come out of that place, to be able to serve, to be able to do what God has called us to do. Even when you know that you have a calling, you keep stepping back because you're saying that I'm not enough, I'm not valuable, because I think that that comes with the challenge of am I the same? Let's say okay, nowadays even men are molested, women are sexually assaulted, and that part, it's like something has been taken away from you. Your innocence, something that was so precious. Sometimes you find that someone is taken advantage of when they are virgins, and so they are left in a place where they feel they are not worth. Their worth is kind of damaged, and coming out of that place can really take a journey. As a counselor, I found so many times that girls have been taken advantage of, and even boys have been taken advantage of. And the result of that is that they go a certain way. They either choose to withdraw totally, or they choose to become totally promiscuous. So they forget who they are. They forget their identity. They forget where they are coming from. And why I'm specifically talking about sexual sin, sexual assault, is because I think of, in the Bible, I think of a woman who was called Tamar. Tamar was a daughter of David. And what happened to, I can't remember where the scripture is, but what happened to her is that she was a virgin. She was waiting to be betrothed by her father, but there is this man, her brother, half brother, called Amnon, who lusted after her, and he lasted so much until he kind of got sick. And so when because he was low, he was in a space that was not in his mind. I think his mind was too occupied with this. He was given advice by a cousin to take advantage of this girl, and once he took advantage of this girl, then for her it was like her life came to an end. It was like she couldn't move forward. It's like she couldn't reconcile with what had happened. And sometimes we find ourselves in that space. We find ourselves in the space where things have happened to us and they have affected our value, they have affected the way we see ourselves, our identity, the very core of who we are. And we are not able to move forward. For Tama, she couldn't come out of it. She got depressed, she became a desolate woman. But when I think of that, I think of the life that she may have lived after that, which must have been very, very, very miserable and very difficult for her. But it's important to look at ourselves and see that it is possible to arise from that place. Because what happens to us moving forward is either we are able to arise from, become resilient, to know that despite of what has happened to us, there's still a life ahead, and that we can use even that which is dark to minister to others. Because sometimes lifestyle, when you talk about, I'm not advocating for such things to happen, but I'm saying that sometimes when you're not able to come out of you're not able to explain, you put meaning into your experiences. Putting meaning to your experiences means that how can you use that which has happened to you as a stepping stone for good. Tama would have made a choice, and people do that, and I can't condemn her because I don't know whatever she went through, and because first of all she was raped. After she was raped, she even offered to be the wife of her brother, but the brother still rejected her. So that must have been a lot. But as she walked, as we come to this point, and I know this has happened, it is not something that it happens to so many of us people, and we feel totally unable to move forward. But as I've said, just learning to understand that you can't control what other people do, you can't control the wickedness in this life, that we can choose to forgive the people. Sometimes I hear often people saying they can't be able to forgive, and I know the pain. I can understand that pain. And but it's a choice that you have to make to overcome. It's a choice that you have to make to overcome. You forgive, and when you forgive that person and let God take over to deal with the person, then he also gives you a vision. He gives you a vision of, perhaps you can be able to step up there and talk to people, girls, boys who have gone through the same thing, and to help them to overcome. So about this situation, I think I can talk about forgiveness. I talk about forgiveness. I talk about putting meaning into a dark situation, using what has happened to you as a stepping stone for something which is deeper than, which is greater than what you are seeing, and then forgiving the person, forgiving yourself, and healing, asking for healing. I think that's what I can say about such a situation, and understanding that what happens to you does not define you. We'll ultimately talk about the basic identity, the foundational identity that God has given us, and that cannot be able to be changed by circumstances or situations that happen to us. But meanwhile, that's how far we can go. Thank you.